Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Shout out to anybody new. Much gratitude. Let's talk about this new signing from Eddie Hearn. Boots Ennis is signed with Matchroom. I think this is an absolutely fantastic move. Look, just recently Eddie Hearn is coming back into his own. He had a couple of years of it goes up and down, doesn't it? I think as any fighter, any promoter, it's just not, you're not just going to stay at the top and be at the top. You're going to have people gunning for your position. But look, I've always believed that he would be back because, despite having, a silver spoon, which he did grow up, he's still got a fighting spirit. And he still, I think, is and does what's best for the fighter on the whole. He's still a boxing promoter, so he does probably have his dark side, but I'd say it's the lesser out of most of the promoters, if not all of the promoters. He gives his word to the fighters, which he did to Regis Prograis. Prograis spoke about that. He got him a homecoming and he got him a big fight. And that was like what he said he was going to do. He's trying to do the same with Berlanga. He's getting them active. He got Berlanga. He's had a Berlanga, I think, 1 or 2 fights now. 2 fights locally in New York. Build him up a little bit more. Get some wins. Get some rounds. Get some momentum. And obviously they're gunning for that Canelo fight, which they might get, to be honest with you. If Berlanga has another fight, which, I saw Danny Jacobs was in the mix there. That's actually not a bad fight. But nonetheless, his goal is to get fighters active and to get them in big fights. And that's what Boots Ennis needs, let's be honest. It's such a shame when you have such an amazing talent, and we can all agree on that. He is an absolutely unbelievable talent. He just doesn't fight enough, and I'm not sure it's his fault. I know that he was rumored to be fighting Cody Crowley, that's his name, and he's the mandatory Crowley. So I don't know what's happened with that fight. That's actually a very good fight. I don't think it's particularly competitive, but I think Crowley's so aggressive and hard and tough natured. He'd probably bring something out of Boots a little bit. It'd be entertaining and it would be fun. And these are the kind of fights I think Boots needs. He needs to be tested a little bit. He needs to have someone in his face. Obviously, we look at what fights are available. I think we can probably rule out any PBC welterweights just because they don't seem to really want to get in the ring with Boots Ennis. And he has tried that avenue. I don't blame them. I guess it's like a blessing. I don't want to use the word curse because that's too much, but when you're that talented and you are that good, it's obviously really difficult to get fights. And not to mention the business side of things too, but obviously straight away at welterweight Matchroom, there is the Conor Benn fight, which, let's be honest, that's a reasonably good fight. I personally think Boots will probably eventually go up to 154 sooner rather than later, because there's a ton of fights up there. And they're not all with PBC, although a large amount of them are. I think there's a couple. I think, there's this might be a bit far-fetched now, and I know he's not but Josh Kelly is at 154. He's with Wasserman. They work together quite a bit. Then you've got Xander Zayas. This might be a bit early for Xander Zayas, but he's at top rank. He's at 154. And there's just a ton. Obviously, Virgil Ortiz is with Golden Boy. They work together for the right money. These fights are there. And there's still the Bud fight, which has been talked about with the Saudis coming in. If the bag's there, these fighters will do it. And, that's the one thing is, like, if you're going to fight somebody like Boots, especially if you're Bud, it has to be worth it. You have to be getting an astronomical amount of money because he's an astronomical problem. When people say he doesn't bring anything to the table, yes, he does. He brings a giant problem to the table. He brings speed, power, athleticism, generational talent, self-belief. And, I know Breadman, Caleb Plant's trainers, just like seen him spar a lot in the gyms in Philadelphia. And he's said a few times he don't think he's ever seen him lose a spar, which is frightening. He's a major talent, and I think this is great news if you are a Boots Ennis fan, because Eddie Hearn, whether you like him or not, or whether the stigma still stays there, because I know he got dragged through the mud a little bit when he came to America, and he did try to be a bit cocky, I know that, but ultimately, he actually does tend to take care of his fighters. for the most part. He had a few fighters come out in the last few years where they were leaving him, and it was going like, you know, AJ was down in the dumps. He was losing kidney. He had a bad few years. He did, but he bounced back. And he's proven that he cares about these fights. Well, I'll say care about them. He sticks up to his word. He pays them on time, and he gets them the fights, and he promises what he's offered them. He gets them. That's what he's been doing lately. So that's just great for the sport. It's great for the Ennis fans, and it's great for Boots Ennis. I know his dad, Boots Ennis, Bozy, they've long been a bit suspicious about promoters, as you would expect, you know, and I've always admired the fact that they're doing the independent route. It comes with some difficulties to get fights. I know that, but it seems like they've you know, been a bit more reassured with Eddie Hearn, you know, and that's great because, like I said, it's just good for the fans. It's good for the sport because we want to see these highlight reels. We want to see these fights. We want to see, you know, the sport fighters fight each other at you know, the best fighting the best, but like also the top contenders fighting the cup. I know he's a champion, but like him and Virgil Ortiz, that was spoken about 2 years ago. Would we ever get that fight? You know, it's more likely now, but he's with Matchroom and De La Hoya. You know, they can work together. They've done it. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on this signing. Like, do you see a negative behind it? Because I personally don't. I think it's only good. And if Eddie Hearn he's going to bring him to Philadelphia straight away. This is the blueprint what he does. He knows he has to build up fighters in their hometown. He takes them straight to Philadelphia. That will be busy because Boots does have, you know, he doesn't have the biggest fan base. He has quite a hardcore fan base, but you need to obviously branch out. But that's how you do it. You start local and you build local, and you get a good win with a good matchmaking, and then you get a good buzz behind it, and then you go again. He's very hard on consistency. And inactivity is such an enemy to building a fighter up, because fans need it in the memory. If let's just say he does go to Philadelphia, gets a great win, and then you leave it a year, people forget, you know, because other stuff is going on in boxing. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Look at Tim Tszyu, great example. So active, constantly active. Came to America twice now. He's at the forefront of people's minds, and he's putting on great performances, because when you get great fighters like Boots Ennis, you almost guaranteed a good performance and a win. So then it's easier, you know. It's a promoter's dream. Boots Ennis is a promoter's dream, and if you ever brought him to the UK, they would absolutely love him. Shout out to the UK massive. I'm from England, you know. I wish I could make more videos out there. I don't know, the algorithm doesn't quite favor my videos over there. Every time I make a UK video, it doesn't do very well, so I have to draw back a little bit, and I'm happy to do the ones I'm doing. I love the content I cover, and I'm grateful for anyone new that has stumbled across this channel. Thanks a lot. I've got so many videos on the way, and I'll do an intro video on the actual channel and the premise very soon, because it's a bit complicated. But anyway, that's it from me. It's Friday now. I hope you have a great weekend. Whatever you do, peace and love. I'm out. Right here. Dig it. Put your box in. Put your shoulder through it. Turn the punch. Get that nice impact. Step in a little bit closer if you need. Hands up. Boom. That's it. Put that shoulder through it. Right hands, just really focus on technique. Punch from your chin. Turn the punch over. Good. Keep your hand on the chin though, straight back to your chin. Boom. Good, bro. Excellent. Good. Go side to side. Good. Excellent, bro. So you're working on your feet, you're working your footwork, jab, yeah. Boom, step, boom. That's it. Excellent. Timing your feet with the punches. When they're set, that's when you punch. Boom. Beautiful. That's it, man. Perfect. That's it, bro. Absolutely perfect punches. Bam. There you go. Good. Keep going. Beautiful.
silky feet work. Good. Sink it in. Great impact, bro. Boom. That's it. Good. Keep going, bro. Every punch, make every punch perfect. Boom. Dig it. Good.